Coming from their home studio, straight into your ear hole. You are now listening to As I Live and Breathe with Liv Matthews and Jay Jansen.
Welcome back, all our Brie livers. We are so happy that you joined us for another week. This is Liv Matthews.
And this is Jay Jansen.
And we have a special guest on today. We've got Rob from The Rob and Slim Show. Rob, how are you doing?
Good. How you doing, guys?
Good, good. So for all our listeners, we met through you sliding into my DMs like a nasty little fucker you are.
She pulls all the punches.
No, I'm just joking.
That's how I get all my connections, just sliding the DMs.
I love it. Well, no, you were very professional, and it wasn't anything shady like I made it seem, but I was very excited.
I've heard female podcasters get propositioned for things. Like I heard one of my friends years ago tell me there was a guy that anytime he had a female guest on the show, he would demand like fucking naked pictures and shit, like real dirty shit like that.
Oh, really? Did it work out? Because we might start doing that.
Yeah, like, hey, where's my dick pic at, Rob?
It may have worked with some ladies, but yeah, no, it definitely didn't work for her. And I'm pretty sure she was like forming a bunch of people to like go after the guy because he was a real scumbag.
Oh, well, I mean, you know, as long as you're being respectful of it, I don't know.
I'm a little upset that we've not actually seen anything like that.
I know. I
feel
more
slightly
people
offended.
Yeah, like
I've never gotten any dick pics or anything.
Well, hold your pants, okay? Because you're about to get some. So plus size pics, bless your heart. I'm just gonna have a little puke emoji. But you guys do your live show from 6 to 9:30 Eastern time every Wednesday. Is that correct?
We just changed it this season. We used to do it every week, and Slim is moving up in his company, and they out of the blue they were like, you can't have every Wednesday off anymore. So we do like 2 on and then 2 off.
Oh,
so that's what we do now. But he splits the show up because we always have done like a long show. So now he splits it up like between the skits and like segments we do. He puts that up as a show, and then he puts the interviews, which are like 4 half-hour interviews. So he puts them up as a separate show. So stuff is still like going up every week on iTunes and all that.
Oh, that's amazing.
So I have a question. So, you know, you guys doing the live show, like Rob, how many times have you like had a situation on the show where you've had to like really gain control of that? Like some fuck shit just happened.
That's a good question because I listened to your episode with David Wise or Flat Earth David. Oh, bless his heart.
I like to let it go, though. I like to let it go off the rails and just let things go wherever they go. There have been a few times I've had to just totally like lose it. Once or twice, I think like I'll just storm out of there and just like break some shit in someone's yard. There's been a few times I've lost it, but
you should have fucking filmed that. That would have been hilarious.
Yeah, let's do a YouTube. Yeah.
Well, bless his heart. He really did have. He's got some psych issues going on. Yeah, I'm not a doctor. I just play one. I was like, wow. But you guys were like laughing the whole time, trying to be respectful. But I mean, it really was just laughable. But he ended up hanging out.
I don't know what Slim left in there either. But at the beginning, like our levels were a little off, and he like told Slim, so Slim fixed them, and he was just like cocky right from the beginning. He just goes like, "You're welcome." Like he fixed our show. It's like, "Fuck you, dude."
Yeah.
I don't know who the fuck you think
Slim left that in there because you were just all like, "Can you believe he just fucking said you're welcome?" And I was all like. I told you, like, even when we were talking before, I told you that everybody from Jersey that I've ever met has been my spirit animal because you say what you mean what you say, which is different from here in the South. We're more backhanded.
Oh, yeah. We will say some fuck shit to you with a smile on our face and then end it with a bless your heart, which kind of completely cancels out what the fuck we just said.
Right. Which is not my normal personality. And if you are like that, they're like, oh, you're a bitch. Well, you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all.
Yes, ma'am, I am.
You have interviewed quite a few famous guests. Like one of my favorite was Jamie Kennedy, just because I like comedy.
Yeah,
old
that was a big one too.
Yeah.
He got pitched to me too. I didn't even like approach him. Somebody that I'm friends with that books guests like sends me, you know, whenever they have somebody, and he got pitched to me, and I was like, yeah, that's amazing. We weren't even supposed to do that show. We were supposed to be on our summer break, but we did an extra show just to talk to him.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I would would have done it 100. I don't care if I'd been in the hospital with like a broken leg and, COVID or something, but I'd be like, yes, we're definitely doing that one. But I thought that was a great one. And you even did Saf from the Tiger King.
Yes, we had Saf on. I've had what's her name? Summer Smith from Rick and Morty. Professor Grammar. I've had her on. I've had the son from Breaking Bad, RJ Mitty.
I saw that as well. I was just all like, wow. You were just like landing people like left and right. You really are my spirit animal.
What Liv is failing to say at this point, and I'm clearly getting it on this side, Robin, I don't know if you are, but she's clearly been stalking you for a while now.
I could feel that.
You felt that?
Like that?
Well, yeah. You did notice that like it was like less than a minute that from the time that we were talking about possibly doing the show that it legit, I was like, yes, definitely. So I probably should have held out a little bit longer, like I'm like that person who's just like, hey, you want to go out on a date? And I'm yeah, please fuck me, please. Yeah.
Those are the best first dates.
I know, I agree. And not to mention that your voice is sexy. I mean, don't tell my husband, but
I'm telling him.
Well, I mean, fuck, he'd
because I like to fuck with him. That's my deal.
I know, and he'd just be like, please take her. But and the reason why is because your voice is very similar to this guy that when I was 16, he was like a friend of the family, and he was like a perv, but I loved it. Yeah, well, I mean, I don't mean it. Yes. But he used to like, when my parents were like gone, he would sometimes come over the house and he would like tell me how he likes to be like kicked in the crotch and stuff like that.
Whoa, that's not my cup of tea.
Yeah, he's like, I'm out at this point.
Right.
Not that guy. I'm totally not that guy.
I appreciate you associating me with the sexy perv, but when you're talking about kicking me in the crotch and shit, I'm out.
I mean, I can't help it. Their voices are very similar. I mean, so I was like, at the time, I was just kind of like, what? I was 16. I didn't know anything about that now. Now I might be into it. I might kick somebody in the crotch. I don't know.
Oh, I didn't know. I figured you just did it, but you didn't understand this.
No. I mean, I was a baby. That's why I said he was a little pervy. I mean, why was he like, 28-year-old guy whispering in a 16-year-old's?
That's exactly why. Come on.
But, I mean, now I would definitely have kicked him in the crotch and not thought anything about it. But I don't know. Maybe like the nurse in me, I might have been like, you okay? You need an ice pack? I don't know.
No, you wouldn't. She is totally let's just rub some fucking dirt in it, man, and go on. Like, you can like have your arm fucking No, recently her and her friend, they had an ATV accident, and Liv actually cut her whole fucking ear in half. And she legitimately calls me like, yeah, I messed up my ear just a little bit. And I'm seeing the picture, I'm like, holy fucking shit, the damn thing is cut in two. Yeah, and she's like, no, I'm cool.
Yeah, but the plastic surgeon put it back together and we're good. It's just a little wonky. Okay. Yeah, just
I thought
a
you
little
just
wonky.
let it hang until it just fell off.
I thought about it, but then what I'm saying, I'm a plus size girl. I mean, you got to pick one. You can't have a wonky ear and be fat. Yeah. So just pick one. So I chose just being fat because I like to eat. But I was all like, yeah. So. That's freaking amazing. God, we love you so much, Rob.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I'm checking your show out, but who the fuck is Bree?
So that's the weird story.
Yeah, that's the weird story. So my friend Bree, so you've been doing a podcast for 7 years. I did not know that podcasts exist until about a year ago. How sad is that?
She's been under a rock.
Yeah, well, I mean, we live in the deep
South.
South.
From the South.
Yeah.
So,
you guys are up there and you are more advanced than we are. You get the technology first and then it trickles on down to the South. But so Bree had listened to podcasts before and was like, oh my God, Liv, it'd be great if we did a podcast. I'm like, what's the podcast? So I started listening to them and I was just like, oh my goodness, this is like a great outlet, because I can't be my true self at work. I have to be very nice and professional. And then I can just be, my dirty, curse words and all that stuff.
Curse words, really? I think we're past all that.
I know.
Dick jokes.
Yeah.
So,
all of it.
But a little bit into it, she wanted to start a family and was kind of like, I didn't really think that it required this much work. And I was just all like, but I love it. And so, we'd already bought the, done the website and bought the address and, all that stuff. So we couldn't change it. So I was like,
well, she actually approached me with changing it. And I was like, you already have an established listener base. When she approached me with like, hey, I did my first guest slot. And then she was like, well, can you come back next week because she's not going to be here again? And I was like, yeah, sure. I had a fucking blast doing this. I mean, I legitimately get to sit here and talk to my best friend. So, how horrible is that?
Your nickname. I didn't know if Bree was your nickname, Jay. That's why I wasn't sure of it.
Right. No, I have no affiliation with Bree whatsoever.
Oh, okay.
And so we
Totally
switched
got
everything over, and I was just like, just fucking leave it. Let's not start all over again. People ask the question, and we'll get to tell that cool little story about how I just kind of came in on the backside of
stole
things. Yeah, I slid in. I slid in your DMs, girl.
You slid
That's
in,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was like, at this point, like, freak, we're just gonna like change Jay's middle name to Brianna. I don't know, but she didn't know that I changed her name. But I mean,
I'm
you know,
sure she's got a lot of names for me, honestly, Rob.
I do. Some nice, some not so nice. But didn't you guys have, like, in the very beginning, didn't you have a little lineup switch as well?
We originally did it with Slim's cousin, and I don't know how many months in, I was like, dude, your cousin sucks. It was called the RBJ show, and because we just used our initials. We didn't even have an idea then for like a name or anything, but and I forget, I told him he sucked, and then like a week later, I'm like, dude, do you want me to just message him and tell him not to come anymore? And he goes, I already did. Slim like fired his cousin, so I'm like, dude, you're fucking badass.
No,
That is
it's
pretty fucking
gangsta.
badass. Hell yeah.
And then we just same thing. Like we're like, what do we call ourselves? I'm like, let's just call us the Rob and Slim Show for now. And if we come up with a better name, we'll go with that. But we never did. We just kept it that way. And it's just, I think it's better. I think it's best.
So where did Slim get his name from? Because here in the South, we don't call Slim folks Slim. Usually, you are like a 6
Morbidly
foot some-
obese when you call him
Yes.
Slim.
Yeah.
Even up here though, but like that's the case up here too. But his nickname was just from work. The job he worked at, the manager they got a new manager, and he's like, I'm going to give everybody nicknames.
I do that too.
All the names,
they
like
don't know about
none of the names. Yeah, me too. I do that all the time. But none of the names stuck except for Slim.
Oh.
Everybody just kept calling him that, and then that's what everybody referred to him as, and so we just did it that way. His real name is Jonathan, but that doesn't sound as cool.
No, like that. Yeah, sounds very white collar. Yeah,
Basic white guy is what that sounds like.
Yeah. Oh, Jonathan. But,
Exactly.
Yeah.
He doesn't even use the H. It's the Jon. That's
Of course
terrible.
it is. Of course it is.
Oh, that's a weak way to spell it.
did you say a weak way to spell it?
Yeah, that's like the pussy version of John.
Right. Well, I agree with that. I had a lady that I worked with. I didn't like her very much. So I gave her a nickname. I called her Chuck. And, her name was Melissa, but I just called her Chuck. And so probably maybe about 2 years into it, she said, can I ask you why you call me Chuck? Now, the reason why I called her Chuck is because she had these big buck ass teeth. And every time she talked to me, it was all like, And so I said, at that time, I wasn't as brazen as I am now. And so I was just like, because you're as cute as a little woodchuck. But that was not
so
true.
bad.
I know.
Like,
now I just be all like,
it.
because you can fucking saw through rope, babe.
You can get corn through a picket fence.
Exactly. Well, in our last podcast, we was talking about people from up north that, the consensus is that people down south that were dumb because of our accents. Do you think that is true?
I think
do.
I think it's a conception.
Yeah.
I don't think that it's true though. But I was listening to that. I was listening to that episode because I got family. My grandfather was from Mississippi and all. So
Yeah.
Like I have family and I have relatives from down there. And
So you got some dirty South roots, is what I'm hearing. Right?
Yeah. I do. And I did. Which one of you guys is from West Virginia?
I am.
Okay, because I lived there for like a few years. I lived in the Panhandle, up the top, where it met with Virginia and Maryland or
So
something.
you still lived up north, Rob.
Shut up. You're such an asshole.
It's a true story, though.
Yeah, I just had a very big complex about it, but now
we
I don't
rag
care.
West Virginia here, even in the South. Like, it's, your family tree doesn't fork and all that shit. Like, we legit give them the most. But,
Right. Like, what do you get? 32 West Virginia women in a same room, a full set of teeth?
Exactly.
Yeah, I heard that a million times. And the problem is that there's some truth to it, which is where stereotypes come from.
Yeah, there's always the one that makes it true.
I mean, some really good people from there. They really are. And they're smart, too. But there's a few of us.
But when I moved there, too, like, I was, like, exotic. Everybody was like, oh, my God, you're from Jersey. And there were also people that were like, when they'd tell me, like, like when they met me, they thought I was going to be the biggest asshole just because I was from Jersey, and I am a fucking asshole. But I guess I'm a cool asshole. So they were all like surprised that I was like really
I like
cool
that you were so exotic.
And everybody was like, "Do you know Bruce Springsteen?" And I'm like, "No."
Fucking really? Like, I hate when people do that. Like, they'll be like, "Oh, you're from Tennessee? Fuck, do you know Jason Aldean?" No, dude. Yeah. That's a whole big fucking state.
Yeah, no, you just fuck with them and say, yes, I did. Yeah, I mean, like, we was at a fucking barbecue the other night.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, though, I used to work in pharmacy, and one of my pharmacist friends ran a pharmacy in a town called Rumson, and it actually was where Bruce and John Bon Jovi went to get their prescriptions and all. So, and they'd have to like rope off entire aisles for them when they were there. That way, nobody would like mob them for interview autographs and all that.
I mean, that's cute and everything, but I'm gonna tell you, I hate when people get like special treatment. I understand, so people wouldn't be all like, oh, while you're trying to get your Viagra. I get it, but I mean, the whole thing is that like you're real people, and I don't know. I mean, of course, I'll never be like super famous. I wouldn't want to be. I think the anonymity of being able to go to the food line in my fuzzy slippers if I needed to would be all right without TMZ taking pictures of me.
Oh, because I'll be looking ratchet.
Recognized once. I just want to be recognized once, though. Like, oh, you're that guy from that show. Like, that would be cool.
That would be awesome.
I don't know. I like to just no. I would love it. Yeah, you're right. I would totally love it.
I know. Like, if somebody just like walked up and said, "Can I get your autograph?" and I was like, "Whoa, are you trying to serve me? Like, am I going to court? What's going on?"
Yeah.
But it would be very nice for somebody just to be like, we had a lady that reached out that is in our hometown, and I guess she had, learned about our podcast and was like listening, and I was like, oh my goodness, she reached out to us, and me and Jay, we were just like, oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, she totally fangirled. Like, you would have thought that we're like the big time here.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, like fucking Beyonce. Not nearly. I just thought it was amazing. Just totally amazing. Right. Then I asked her if she could, if she wanted to be on the podcast, and she was like, no, I can't. I was like, I'm so nervous. And I don't really understand it, but sure,
I do bite.
Well, that's funny, though, because, like, at first when I used to call the shows, I'd still get a little nervous. I don't anymore, but Slim, he hasn't done a lot of interviews, and that's one of his reasons, because he gets nervous. And I totally do get that.
Yeah, he does seem like a very nice guy, more techie.
Oh, yeah, he's all that. He does all that shit.
What are you drinking? The other night when we,
coffee.
I thought you was going to coffee. I know, it's a little sexy. But you were just like, listen, like, I totally need a drink after tonight. And I was like, I feel you, buddy. What's your drink of choice?
Usually I drink absinthe.
Oh my God, really? I drank that once and almost died, Rob.
It's my go-to. I don't know. One of my buddies years ago, David, the producer, sent me a bottle of it, and I've just ever since it's my go-to. I'll have like a couple glasses every night.
What do you just drink it straight?
No. Ice cubes, a shot of absinthe in the glass, and then water, and like a fourth of a shot of simple syrup, just to sweeten it a little.
Okay. Maybe. No. I don't know. It was fucking horrid. Like, when they came out with that movie, was it Road Trip? No, it wasn't Road Trip. What the fuck was it? So. European Vacation or whatever.
Oh, okay.
God, what was it? It was kind of like the spinoff to that one, but they were
Euro Trip.
Yes. And so, they were fucking hallucinating in the club, and I was like, hell yeah, I was down for that, right? So I tried it, and I was like, oh my God, this is fucking horrid. Why did I try this?
I've never, but guess what we're doing?
We're not.
Yes, we are.
Guess what? Jay's not doing it.
We're gonna do it. We're feeling it.
It's more of a body high. It's like not really a drop, more of just like a chill, like body high.
Well, see, I have my own drink of choice as well, and so I am a straight up rum girl all the time, every day. Captain Morgan. I even have a coin phrase that when I spin out on rum, it's pimping the plank.
Pimping the plank. I like it.
Nice.
I'm more like a whiskey sour. I do like a margarita and maybe a tequila shot.
All the way. Like, she's drinking bitch drinks, Rob.
Yeah.
What are those, White Claws?
No, I don't like those.
She don't even like the White Claws. Like, I did those a little bit over the summer, and I made her try one, and she was like, this is awful. Why are you drinking this shit?
I know. I was like,
well, it's almost like fucking water, and I'm convincing my body that I'm giving it water, It
is not like water. It's like that seltzer water, and then if I like licked a raspberry's testicle.
Hey, seltzer water though. I cannot do it.
And I know.
Ugh.
Like, who drinks that shit on the regular?
I
I
don't
think
know.
somebody who's like addicted to soda, like and doesn't want the sugar. Because I've tried to figure that out. It's so gross, so nasty.
So fucking gross.
Yeah, it sounds like a skinny girl. Yeah, it's definitely not a fat girl. We're like, fuck it. We're eating the calories, man. If it tastes like ass, we're not doing it.
Yep. Count me out.
But yeah, you're right. I do like the frou-frou drinks. I like a lot of the fruit juice in there. But,
So you're the one person that I found that actually liked absinthe.
well, I've never tried it, so I'm going to try it. It probably is going to taste like asshole too, Rob.
It doesn't taste the greatest. Like I'm not gonna lie, but I don't
then I'm
mind
not doing
It's-
it.
I
But
told
it's not
you.
strong. It's not strong. Like when you water it down and dilute it, it's like just licorice, a little licorice.
Just
And
something to
like I
take
said,
the edge off.
Yeah, and if you throw the syrup in, little simple syrup, it'll sweeten it up a little bit.
Oh, me and my diabetic ass, I'll be like the whole bottle of simple syrup, and I'm just always fucking delicious. And I'm in a diabetic coma. God, it sucks when you
But
get
yeah,
old.
I drink the entire length of my show too, and sometimes I'm like shocked that I still can talk by the end of it. I still can't conduct an interview.
Well, some of y'all's YouTubes, I'll see, and it's like a plethora of bottles, like empty bottles there. And I was just like, is that leftover, or did we have those? Did we pregame?
Oh no, I never pregame. Just start at the beginning of the show. So yeah, it's like a 4-hour show, but there's always a lot of drinking.
Yeah, I would be wasted by the time we were done with the show. There's no freaking, sometimes we have to listen to our show because we legitimately don't know what we sit here and talk about.
Yeah.
And so, I can't imagine like if I were partaking in, because, I will drink pretty rapidly. So I can imagine what the beginning of the show versus the end of the show, like people who legitimately know me on the outside, if you will, like are going to be like, what the fuck?
I'm game for it.
Sometimes we do movie shows too, where we do a drinking game. So anytime they do whatever, we drink, and those I get pretty shit faced on.
Do you just like pick a word?
Oh yeah, sometimes it's like whenever we just watched Natural Born Killers, so it was like whenever anybody died, whenever certain things happened, or Tommy Lee Jones's sideburns were on the screen. So it was just like it was nonstop drinking.
You're totally shit faced afterwards.
Yes.
We need to do that.
Yeah.
Can we copy you?
We do
Yeah,
not need
totally.
to do that. We don't need to do that. I have to babysit her when she drinks. It's horrible. It's horrible. Like, she wants to scare people and like do the most inappropriate shit, like take her clothes off and shit. So
Yeah, I will pull my floppy titties out every single time. I don't know why. Nobody needs to see them at all, but I will do it.
She will.
Well, Slim too. He does. He's the one who records and does everything. I don't know how he always does such a great job, but he did at one point get a program that always has like a backup recording going, just in case he forgets to hit record or something.
I was gonna say, is he like legitimately like doing like the Coyote Ugly on you, where he's sipping his beer bottle and spitting it back? It's really water,
Right.
Like
No,
you're shit faced. I'm really not, dude. Go ahead with do you.
No,
Yeah.
he gets worse than me sometimes.
Oh.
And he will pregame. He will be drinking like an hour before we start. And I don't start till we turn the show on.
Well, that's fun. I'm gonna have to watch closer now just to see if there's like any like telltale of Slim, getting a little shit faced on there.
I have to really think though.
Because I think
like,
I saw
what-
him scratch his balls on one of the episodes, and I was just like, "Oh yes, get into it."
That's on the real
Digging
right
in
there.
Yeah, I was just all like, "Wow, yes, sir." But he was all up in there, and I was just all like, "I live for it." Yes.
Yeah, I don't look at him. I try not to make eye contact. or anything
He's
with
like, yeah, I never seen him scratch his balls the whole time.
He was like, I purposely try not to do that. But I love how you like always have like your notebook and like some notes. And
Yes.
I feel like you prepare, like it doesn't sound like you prepare because it's very conversational, but I feel like you do. I feel like you prepare for the show and make sure that you know a little bit about the host.
Yeah, with all of it, I do like certain things on certain nights. It's a lot of work. Find all the news stories. I write the stupid little skits we do. But then on every guest, I do probably like two pages of guest prep. So usually I'll spend like a half an hour on each guest, like looking up stuff they've done, like looking at their IMDb's or whatever, their websites and all, just so I have stuff to ask them.
That's amazing. And I think that it's wonderful because you do have these high profile guests on there, but you also give like podcasts like ours, that are little small potatoes right now, maybe it'll be bigger, but you give us a chance. And I think that's freaking amazing.
Yeah. No, that's what I enjoy too. Like, I mean, as long as you can have a conversation, because there's been, every now and then I'll get somebody that gives you nothing. You could ask them, I could ask them every question I have, and they just, it's like talking to a dead dog or something. Like, they just give you nothing to work with. It's like, what's the craziest thing you've ever seen, and in Hollywood, and they're just like, oh, nothing, everything's normal. And it's like, shut up, asshole.
Right.
But,
there's crazy shit. Like, I see fuck shit every day. Like, you've got something.
Right, like fake something up at this point. I mean,
Exactly. No, as long as you can have a conversation and all, and then you do something, I'd love to hear about it, type of thing.
Well, sometimes, like, especially when I was watching the YouTube videos, it's funny because you'll ask the question and the response doesn't come in a very timely manner. And you do this thing with your hand. It's almost kind of like a, come on, like, wrap it up kind of thing. Like, it does like a circular motion, but it's like you catch it like midstream, like, oh, don't be rude, kind of thing.
I've never even noticed.
She will call you out.
I'm just like, but I would have been the same way because I'd been like, hello,
Yeah.
But I think it was so nice that you were like trying to be respectful, but at the same time, you're just like, come on, dude, like answer the question.
Flat Earth Dave was rough, though. Oh my God. Did you see that stupid thing? He tried showing us like a robot or something.
Yes. And you guys were laughing because you were like, all I see is a string,
A string.
And that's what I was going to ask you, too. Like, I kind of picked up on it and slimmed it, too. Like, when I had mentioned two people that had, one guy sailed around the world and one guy flew around the world. And he just seemed to be totally stumped. Like, the guy had nothing. Like, he's like, well, that's impossible because you can't do that.
Yeah. And the whole Antarctica thing. Yeah. You're just kind of like, honey, like you guys brought up, because I'm like sitting there thinking like, we have satellite footage, honey, that it's circular and it's like a ball.
But those types of people do not they think that the government has fabricated that shit. Like they need the aluminum foil helmets. Like they're out in the field somewhere with that shit. Like they're like a different breed of people than we are.
Yeah.
My whole thing though is we have what's her name? Oh my God, Marjorie Taylor Greene. That lady is crazy. She's in the Senate. She believes in like Jewish space lasers. So why wouldn't she be into the flat Earth? Because it's the lamest of all the conspiracies.
Yeah, and that's the thing is that conspiracy theorists, they really do believe it. I mean, in their heart, like they really do believe it. And how do you, like, I see patients like this all the time. And, one of the rules is, you like don't try to change their beliefs. You just kind of go with it. So you're just like, oh yeah. The other day I was playing ball with my kid and it rolled right the freak off the earth, And they're just all like, I know, right? You just go with them because it just angers them. But I was like, the fact that you guys, because you guys were laughing, which I would have been like snorting and hee-hawing and all that. You guys were laughing like a little bit. And then he was just kind of like, hey, is there something funny? Yes, honey. It's hilarious. It's ridiculous.
But then I love too. He had this stupid, whatever it was, robot thing. And then Slim's like, well, do you have the rest of it? Do you have, because he claimed it was being floated around by balloons. And Slim's like, well, where's the rest? Do you have the balloons? And the guy's like, no. So he didn't have the rest of the picture. It was like, well, what are you showing us, dude?
Right. And then you brought so I think Slim brought up the fact that he was just like, if I attach a balloon to myself, it's not like I'm going to float around. So you're saying that I forgot how much it weighed, like 8,000 pounds. You're telling me.
Scaffolding.
Yeah. Yes. It was held by you're telling me there's enough helium that's just going to take that and it's not just going to plummet to the earth and kill one of us. Like really? And he's just all like, yeah. And he's like shocked that you guys don't believe him. And I'm like, and then Slim tried to be nice, like when he went into like the pond, theory that, Earth is more like a pond. And he was like he was really trying to go with him. But you can tell, like, especially like when he was like, oh, well, if you step off, in Antarctica, the military will kill you. Like, sir.
The Antarctic military, like, what the fuck? Is that a thing? I don't even know.
I don't fucking think that's a thing. Who the fuck is in Antarctica anyway?
You couldn't even live.
No.
Hell no.
You could never survive there, especially at an outpost, at a military outpost. Like,
right.
I guess Santa's out there, Yeah.
Well, yeah. He's got milk and cookies, so maybe. I don't know. But I just thought of like little stormtroopers, like in the white outfits, just standing there, just waiting for, Slim to step off. But I was just like, wow. Honey, I kind of felt bad for him a little bit. But then that quickly dissipated when he said, you're welcome.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't stand when people do that anyway. Like, my kid, he wanted to get a little snippy with me. He's 14. I call my kids.
I was going to ask how old.
Yeah.
Mine are starting. They're 12. They're going, my two middle ones. My oldest is 13 and in the middle is 12. And it seems to be when they hit 12.
Yes. So I have a
just
10
get
and a
different.
14, and I think he's trying to, like, feel himself a little bit, but just trying it just a little bit. But no, we'll shut that down real quick. But I call them the double D's, one's smaller and one's larger, just like my breasts. But they're good kids, but like I said, they're going to try themselves a little bit. Essentially, that's what he did, and I was just like, hell no, and shut it down real quick.
She gets Tinta turned up.
A little bit.
A little bit my ass. Like, she can full on.
Well, we had spoke about me being like a correctional nurse in the past. Like, anytime I just revert right back to it. It was like, oh.
What is that? You just shock people? A correctional nurse? Like, what do you do?
Yeah, so essentially you are there on site at the jail, and anybody gets hurt, anybody needs medication, anything like that. So, people on regular meds, you make sure that you do your med pass. Lots of fights, lots of people
being... tranquilizer dart?
No.
Wouldn't that be fucking amazing? I want this for my kids.
Awesome.
I didn't say that on the air.
I know, right? I mean, these
You
people...
edit that out.
yeah, we're going to need to edit that out, really.
But no, I had a good time doing the job. I did it for 3 years. People were just like, what's your worst thing that ever happened? I was like, oh gosh, I've been attacked.
Today? Like, you want to know today?
Right, I was like, but I told a story about this guy coming down, like they kept saying like medical, because, we had to have these little walkie-talkies, and then you'd be like, go for medical, do all your 10 code. Like if there's a fight, you're just like, oh, okay.
I would forget the numbers. I'd be like, look here.
Yeah.
L42. Bingo, motherfucker. I got bingo.
Right. So you would have to like run to it, to the fight or whatever. But anyway, they told me that this guy was coming down. I was just like, okay, whatever. I just thought he'd gotten in a fight. He gets down there and he's just like, I got something in my penis. And I was like, yeah, okay,
Ugh.
So he was just like, so what are you going to do? I said, well, I'm going to need to see it. And he's like, you're going to need to see my dick. Well, I mean, it's not like I'm getting off on this, but I was just like, yeah, I kind of do. And so he pulls out his penis and he's got broom straws like a penis vase.
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
Yeah. So he's like all
Holy
hanging
shit.
out. And he was just like, you sending me to the emergency room? And I was just like, so that was their whole point. They like to go get a
Was that
turkey
his plan
sandwich.
to get out of prison? Like, look, I got splinters in my dick. Like,
Yeah.
You gotta get me out of here.
Yeah, so they just want to go so
jeez.
they can have a free phone call to their family, watch TV by themselves, and have a turkey sandwich.
That's a level of dedication that I don't think that being a dude, I would be down for it all.
Well, he was
could
all
never.
for it. And I loved it. I was just like, yes, but I was just like...
Just have like a week pass, you give him a pass.
Right. I was just like, no, baby, you're not going to the emergency room for that. And he's like, well, what do I do?
I'm going to pluck you like a porcupine.
Right. I was just like, pull them
Get the
out.
tweezer.
Exactly. That's what I was saying. I was just like, this is not an emergency. Of course, we could
that's
do,
fucked up.
I know, some urinalysis and some antibiotics later if he got a
Nurse
UTI.
Hatchet over here. That's what I'm hearing. Nurse Hatchet.
I know, isn't that horrible? I should have been better. But the guy it was like a 2-level, so he was up, I don't know, like probably 10, 15 feet, something like that. He threw himself down the stairs to go to the emergency department. So I appreciated that. That was an Oscar-winning performance.
Yeah, that's dedication.
Yeah. So even though he appeared to be fine, vital signs were fine, I was just like, yep, sir, you're going to the emergency department, just in case he had a subdural, like a bleed in the brain or something like that. But I was like, yeah. I mean, Oscar-winning performance, those will get you to the emergency department. But you're really going to have to do it well. So I pulled that back up on camera, and I was just like, yes, sir, I like that one. That one was good.
See, I told you she was ratchet in the beginning. People, kind of questioned me on that. But freaking tell him what you did to your husband last summer because he wouldn't quit smoking in your car.
Yeah, so I don't have a problem with smoking, but he just kept smoking in my car and like shutting it up. And so when you open it back up, it was horrible. And I was a bad wife. I really was. I had told him for months, like, please stop doing this. And he was just like, yeah, babe, yeah, whatever. So I went and took some tuna fish, put it in like a bag, and put it underneath the seat. It took a couple
It's fucking
weeks.
99 degrees here in July and humid as hell.
Yeah. So it took a couple weeks for it to really get good. And so he's taken like my son's football equipment out, washed question it, like, just like, what is this smell? And so one day I hear out in the garage, like the kids and him, like, making the puke noise. And so he comes in, he's like, babe, did you do something to my car? It smells horrid. We've done everything. I don't know what it is. And so I finally let him into it. I said, well, you might want to look underneath your seat. There's
the only reason why she felt bad because her sons were out there.
Yeah, if it would have just been my husband, I would have kept that thing growing until, it got mold.
Oh, did the smell ever get out of it though, or is it all right?
It lingered, buddy. It lingered.
Yeah,
so,
I would think.
Yeah, I mean, I did put it in a bag so it wouldn't like be in the carpet. I was at least that thoughtful.
She was a little respectful in that. Yeah,
I thought you just opened the lid and just left the can under there.
No, I should have though, but I was trying to be a little nice. Yeah, but still to this day, he does not smoke in my car anymore.
Well, it's effective then. That works.
I know, but how horrible is that? I told that to
fucking
my other
hilarious
friend.
is what it is.
See, and that's why I love Jay, is because she loves my shenanigans, and most other people are just like, you are a horrible person.
No,
I love because they don't happen to me.
Thing.
Yeah,
that too.
That's the thing, is that as long as it's not like back on me, because I don't take a joke very well. I find things freaking hilarious, but you do them to me, and I'm just all like, I wish a motherfucker would,
Yeah.
That is too funny.
So do you and Slim prank each other occasionally, or no?
Not really. We're usually pretty cool with each other. Like, like that's the thing though. Like we've had guests on. Sometimes guests get a little too comfortable, and then it's like I'll never have them back on. Not on the phone, but like in person guests. We've done that over the years, and like some of them have gotten like way too comfortable, where it's like I end up never asking them back on.
Like when
because
you mean, like what do you mean by like too comfortable? Like touchy feely, or just like wanting to stay?
Wanting to like insult our guests, like, and it's like you let me make that call. Like let me make that call. Yeah. If it's somebody like that Flat Earth Dave guy, I have no problem with it. But yeah, when you start taking shots at like a guest that I would not have, like that's a problem.
Yeah, that's not very nice.
No.
And especially if they've been gracious enough to come on your show, and then you're having somebody on your show as well. You're just like, I wouldn't want somebody else to do you like that. So therefore, let's have the same respect.
Exactly.
I agree. But I mean, that even the Flat Earth Dave, he seems very legit, very knowledgeable about what he believes. I don't agree with it, but he at least said it in an intellectual way, don't you think?
Yeah.
So I was just like, okay, all right.
I've always wondered, like, people who get involved in like cults and stuff like that, like, they sometimes like just talking to them one-on-one, like they seem like they were fairly sort of intelligent, you know what I'm saying? And then you're like, how did you believe that you need to take your 12-year-old kid and let them go, fuck this preacher guy? Like, I want to know how that happened.
Yeah.
Like, how did somebody convince you to do that? I don't get it.
Yeah, I have no idea. I don't know if it's just weakness or dumbness or both, but yeah, it's weird.
Or maybe like isolation. You see those shows sometimes, like those, I don't know, Bachelor in Paradise or whatever it is. And like for like a month or two, aren't they like sequestered in a house? And then, it's an alternate reality. That is the reality. So they'll be like, oh, okay, it's easy to believe that this person loves me in less than a month.
Yeah. What was it too? I think it was Big Brother that was filming when before COVID broke out, and the people, when they got done with the show, didn't even know COVID existed. Like,
wow.
Like they don't. Yeah. I guess they legitimately don't feed information into the show. Then
no, they don't. Yeah, you're just like totally secluded from the world.
That would be my thing. So I was seen this week where the CDC came out with it was actually like a local syndicated news that put the story that the CDC came out with a story about how to prepare for the zombie apocalypse.
Oh, I didn't see this.
And I was like, the fuck? Like, you got the CDC?
That's what I thought we were getting with COVID. I'm like, I want fucking fires everywhere. I want like Mad Max. I want like packs of wolves and zombies and shit everywhere.
I want a fucking sword. That's what I want.
Nice. I just want like one of those cool Mad Max cars.
Right, because that was like, it was supposed to be set in 2021. And and we've kind of let people down, I feel, a little bit.
Well, we still don't have our Back to the Future stuff, though.
Yeah.
No, we didn't get any of that shit yet. I think it was a couple years ago I read that the military came out with a plan to, in case there were zombies, how to fight them and shit.
Really? Like, is this a legitimate thing?
Yeah, that's been going on. I've heard that like a while back now, probably like 5 or 10 years now. But yeah, the military has a whole plan just in case of an outbreak.
Huh. I'm kind of excited now.
And there's also that shit. Have you ever seen the zombie ants? It's called cordyceps.
No. Where have I been?
Yeah, just Google that. that or look it up on YouTube. There's
Yeah.
like a fungus that grows in their brains that turns them into zombies, and they're stronger than regular ants. They do all sorts of crazy shit. And there's like one of those, like a strain of it that attacks all different like insects. So
there is a possibility.
Theory, it could go to like humans one day.
Wow.
All right, I'm getting a fucking sword. You're getting a
Nice.
Mad Max car, Rob. That's what you need.
Do it. Oh yeah. That's fucking cool.
Are you going to do like leather pants and
Like
stuff?
saw blades or something. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Chaps. Definitely
Shit,
have the
yeah.
chaps.
That's
So you can do that in Jersey. Down here, we're a little bit more south. And
no, we're not.
We're going to get chafed, man. Leather and heat does not work.
Oh yeah, that is true. You will get the swamp butt.
Yeah, swamp ass. And get some swoobies too, some sweaty boobies.
I never
God.
knew that term. That's amazing.
You're learning all new things today, Rob. You're just all like, we're never going to talk to these ladies again. Oh my goodness. But we have loved having you on the show so much. Thank you so much. And
Thank you, girls.
we can find you on ipmnation.com/live2.
Yeah, yes,
And
and,
also robinslim.podbean.com.
Yeah, I believe that's a Podbean. I usually just tell people to just search us or just Google us. But we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, Instagram, all that bullshit. Happy
Yes,
worship.
you are everywhere because I find you all over the place like a little stalker I am. But thank you again. We appreciate you so much for being on the show.
Thanks,
Thanks for
Rob.
having me, guys.
As always, our call to action, please visit our website at www.asiliveandbree.com. That's ASILIVANDBREE.com. We're also listed on Apple, Google, Stitcher, Spotify, you name it. Thanks again, guys.